So you know, part A, we're going to evaluate the square root of 0.16. Well, I recognize that 16 is a perfect square. So I'm hoping that there is a perfect square for this. And I'm going to convert my 0.16 into a fraction, which is 16 over 100. And then I'm going to need to take the square root of that. Well, that's the same as saying the square root of 16 divided by the square root of 100. I know that 16 is 4 times 4, so we can write it this way as well. And the square root of 100 is 10 times 10. Well, 100 can be written as 10 times 10. My apologies. So you can write it this way, and when you take the square root of that, you just get rid of one of each pair. So you're going to be left with 4 over 10. And 4 over 10 in decimal form is 0.4. Now, I've calculated that. I don't know for sure that it's the square root of 0.16. So let's test it. Do 0.4 times 0.4. And, 0.16. So that is correct. So that's one technique. You could, of course, start with 0.16 on your calculator and just hit the square root symbol, and you're there. But it's good if you can visualize your answers this way as well. All right, part B, I'm going to use the same sort of strategy. 1.21 looks a lot like 121, which the square root of that is 11. Again, not on your list, but it's a very common one that you should get used to. So 1.21, that could be written as 121 over 100. And I want to calculate the square root of that. 121, as I said, was 11 times 11. 100, again, we just did this, is 10 times 10. So I want to take the square root of that. When I do that, I'm left with 11 over 10. Which, when you do that, 11 divided by 10, you're just moving the decimal over one spot, so that becomes 1.1. Test it. 1.1 times 1.1 gives you 1.21, which was our original number. So we have confirmed that. Of course, again, you can just type in your 1.21 and hit your square root symbol, and you'll get your answer of 1.1. So that's two quick strategies on that, show you know.